We have our biggest move of the offseason. Dylan Cease to the Blue Jays. 7 years, $210 million. The Blue Jays go out and get their horse.
These aren't the same Blue Jays. The culture is better. The spending is real, and the chance to win a World Series is right there.
Having given Dylan Cease $210 million, can they go out and sign Bichette and Tucker?
The Blue Jays just experienced one of the most heartbreaking losses in baseball history. Miguel Rojas hit one of the most improbable home runs in World Series history in the 9th inning to tie the game, and then Will Smith hit a blast in the 11th to give the Dodgers the win. And oh yeah, that was after the Blue Jays nearly won it twice on their own in a crazy split-second play at home plate and a collision in the outfield. So the Jays were right there. They had it. But now they're about to make sure that if they're in that position again, things will end differently. But before we get into today's video, guys, again, thank you for all the support on the channel on our road to 50,000 subscribers. As you may know, we're doing a giveaway for anyone who is subscribed with notifications on. You're entered into a giveaway for an MLB jersey. We're giving one away every single upload. With that being said, this video's winner is at SamosAy7880. Thank you for the support, brother. Reach out to me to get that jersey. Now that that's out of the way, let's get right into it. Dylan Cease is not your average free agent pickup. This dude is the only pitcher in the majors to eclipse 200 strikeouts in each of the past 5 seasons. Yeah, you heard that right. The only guy. He's averaged 221 strikeouts per season since 2021. And his 1,106 total strikeouts over the last 5 seasons lead all of Major League Baseball. The next closest guys, Zach Wheeler with 1,041 and Kevin Gausman with 1,020. So the Blue Jays just paired Cease with Gausman, who's third on that list. That's pretty insane. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't Cease have a down year? Well, yeah, technically he did. He went 8-12 with a 4.55 ERA in 32 starts for the Padres in 2025. But here's the thing, and this is where the smart teams separate themselves from everyone else. His FIP was 3.56 and his 33.3% strikeout rate was the 6th best among qualified pitchers. Now, for those of you who don't know, FIP basically measures what a pitcher's ERA should have been based on things that they can control. Strikeouts, walks, and home runs. So while his ERA looked rough, he was actually pitching way better than those numbers suggest. Not only that, but the under the hood numbers still look fantastic for Cease, and he still led the entire National League in strikeouts per 9 last year with 11.5. And get this, Cease's gyro slider graded out as the single best pitch in baseball in both 2022 and 2024. We're talking about a pitch that's absolutely filthy. By run value in 2022, Cease's slider was far and away the most valuable pitch in baseball, coming in with a staggering run value of -32, which was 10 runs better than the next best pitch. So that's not just good, that's elite. Then there's his four-seamer, which averages 97 miles per hour, which is the 6th best among qualified starters, and routinely places in the 95th percentile in spin rate and induced vertical break. This is the modern game, baby. High spin rising fastballs paired with a slider that disappears. When he's on, he's literally unhittable. And the durability factor is massive too. Over the last 5 seasons, Cease is the only starting pitcher who has made at least 32 starts and struck out at least 200 batters in each season. That's it. That's the list. Just him. In an era where teams are babying pitchers and monitoring workloads like crazy, Cease just keeps taking the ball every 5th day and racking up strikeouts. Now, $210 million over 7 years, that's $30 million per year. So this contract is tied for the 7th largest free agent deal ever given to a starting pitcher. The Blue Jays are betting big here, but when you look at the rotation they're building, it makes total sense. The Blue Jays rotation now features Kevin Gausman, rookie sensation Trey Savage, Jose Barrios, and Shane Bieber, who shocked everyone by opting into a $16 million player option instead of testing free agency. That decision speaks volumes about the culture the Blue Jays are building. Bieber went 4-2 with a 3.57 ERA after coming back from Tommy John surgery, pitching just over 40 innings last year. But if he can return to his prior Cy Young caliber form, the Blue Jays might have gotten a steal. But here's what makes this move even more significant. Kevin Gausman and Shane Bieber are both free agents after 2026, and Jose Barrios has a player opt-out after 2026 as well. So the Blue Jays looked at their window and realized they need to lock down rotation stability for the long term. And Cease gives them that for the next 7 years. And this isn't where the Blue Jays offseason ends. Trust me on this one. The Blue Jays are viewed as favorites to land Kyle Tucker, who's the top position player on the free agent market right now. One MLB.com reporter said at the GM meetings that the one team he heard more than anybody else connected to Tucker was the Blue Jays. And if they don't get Tucker, the Blue Jays view Cody Bellinger as an acceptable fallback, and they could get him as well. Now, don't get it twisted. The Blue Jays will walk away with a big bat before the end of free agency. The Blue Jays offense was already one of the best in baseball during their World Series run, but adding Tucker would make it absolutely lethal. In the postseason leading up to the World Series, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had more home runs than strikeouts. He had 6 homers to 3 strikeouts. Imagine adding Tucker to that lineup. The message the Blue Jays are sending is crystal clear. They didn't come this far to finish in second place. After the Game 7 loss, Ernie Clement stood in the clubhouse and said this.
I've been crying for probably an hour, so I thought I was done with the tears, but I just love these guys so much. It was so much fun coming to work every day. And
that pain, that heartbreak, that's what's fueling this offseason aggression. And the rest of the AL East better be paying attention. The Yankees, the Red Sox, Orioles are all trying to figure out how to compete. And the Blue Jays just dropped $210 million on Dylan Cease before Thanksgiving. That's a statement. Now, let's talk about what this means for the starting pitcher market too. Dylan Cease getting $210 million sets the floor for guys like Framber Valdez and potentially raises the ceiling for everyone. Valdez and Cease were projected to have similar production, around 3.6 ERA and a 3.7 WAR over about 185 innings. If Cease got $210 million coming off of a down year, what's Valdez going to get after being more consistent? Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Cease's control issues. He walks more batters than most pitchers, and he routinely ranks near the top of the league in walks allowed, walking at least 65 batters in each of his past 5 seasons. From 2021 to 2025, Cease has led the major leagues in strikeouts with 1,106, but also in walks with 361, and wild pitches with 51. So that's the trade-off with Dylan Cease. He's a high wire act. When he's painting the corners with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball and that devastating slider, he's untouchable. But when he loses the strike zone, things can get messy fast. The Blue Jays are betting that their pitching coaches can help him harness that elite stuff more consistently. And honestly, the upside is worth it. Cease has twice finished in the top 5 of Cy Young voting awards. He was the AL runner-up in 2022 and placed 4th in the NL in 2024. When he's right, he's one of the 5 best pitchers in all of baseball. Now, I want to talk real quick about fit. Rogers Center is roughly neutral for pitchers, but the AL East actually exposes Dylan Cease to hitter-friendly venues like Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park more frequently than Petco Park did with the Padres. That's a legitimate concern. Petco Park in San Diego is one of the best pitcher parks in baseball, and Cease still had a 4.55 ERA there. It had the 26th worst park factor in all of baseball. Now he's going to a neutral park and facing the Yankees and Red Sox and Orioles lineups 19 times plus a year. But let's be real. After falling short by 2 outs in Game 7 and a millisecond slide at home plate, the Blue Jays are down to take big risks right now. And honestly, they should. With the team already staring at a projected payroll of $233 million, this deal underlines the organization's short-term ambitions. They're going for it, and they have confidence in doing so. The Cease signing also sends a message to Bo Bichette. The Blue Jays want him back, and they're showing him that they're serious about winning now. Now, Bichette declined the qualifying offer and is testing free agency, but the Blue Jays signing Dylan Cease might convince him that Toronto is the place to be if he wants to win championships. This is probably the Blue Jays' best chance to win a World Series since the 80s, and they're as eager as any of their own fans. They clearly have intentions on bringing the World Series title back to Toronto. The Yankees are trying to re-sign Cody Bellinger and figure out their pitching. The Red Sox are trying to build a contender after years of mediocrity. The Orioles are young and talented but unproven. The Rays are just the Rays. And the Blue Jays just went out and made the first major splash of the offseason if you don't count the Sonny Gray trade. The blockbuster is done. Dylan Cease is a Blue Jay, 7 years, $210 million. One of the best strikeout pitchers in all of baseball is heading to Toronto to join a team that was seconds, outs away from glory. This is just the beginning of what should be a fascinating offseason in Toronto and in all of baseball for that matter. Will they land Kyle Tucker? Will they bring back Bo Bichette? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. One thing's for sure, the Blue Jays are all in. They're not messing around. They came within a second and a slide of a championship, and they're doing everything they can to get back there and finish the job. That's all for today. I'll see you on the next one.